Some parliamentarians are upset that the federal government failed to warn them they were targets of hacking by China. The 18 MPs and senators are members of an international group called the Parliamentary Alliance on China, and the FBI allegedly warned that organization of the cyber attacks back in 2022, but members of the group were only informed by the alliance last week.
It seems that there is still a gap in terms of informing and protecting members of Parliament in the exercise of their parliamentary duties, and this is a matter which should be taken up as soon as possible.
John McKay is a Liberal MP on that group, and he joins me now. Mr. McKay, it's good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Good to see you, David.
We've been having a heck of a time getting to the bottom of this today, and it seems you are as well. I mean, what exactly do we know and not know about what China tried to do to you and your colleagues here?
A good question to which I probably don't have a much better answer than do you. As I understand, the FBI informed relevant governments. Well, just to back up for a second, This is a large international organization of parliamentarians interested in human rights pertaining to China. And so I belong to it along with 13 other colleagues. And the FBI was doing a surveillance. And that turned up a few email addresses and some suspicious activities. They in turn informed the relevant governments around the world. None of us knew anything, including the Central IPAC organization, and really only learned in March that when the indictment was unsealed, that we had been targeted. So the IPAC people sat down with the FBI people and compared email lists. And it turns out that I and a number of other Canadian colleagues, along with quite a number of international colleagues, are on that list, and we've been subject to a fishing expedition, which I won't pretend to try to explain to you. I was rather hoping you'd explain it to me.
Well, as I understand it, because we had Catherine Tunney on the show earlier, and she covers national security for us, and like they send you an email with a photo in it, and in one of the pickles on the photo is embedded a piece of malware that fires off into the device you open the email on and tries to scrape as much information out as it can, I guess, to find out what it can, but also, I guess, search for vulnerabilities for a more aggressive and progressive attack the next time.
And it keeps on going.
And then it goes from there.
And as it may still be going in my own emails. And what disturbs me is that not only is it information about me, but it's my constituents and anyone with whom I correspond. And I think it's perfectly legitimate for my constituents to assume that their emails are protected.
Do you know if you, or because there's so many blind spots in this story, even for you, Mr. McKay, and this is like, do you know if an email got through to you, that it was opened by you or your staff? Because I know there are email addresses that your staff would access, not just you. Do we even know that it worked, or that you were exposed or hacked in any way?
I have no idea, and that's what's the disturbing part of it, is that I may have been compromised, or I may still be compromised, or there may be nothing.
So you got a lot to worry about or nothing to worry about, but you don't know what you should be worried about. Is the problem.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the FBI uncovered this. They're not allowed to contact you directly because there's rules, I guess, about Federal Bureau of Investigation contacting parliamentarians. Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
So you said the relevant governments, because this organization you're a part of, it's a whole host of nations who would be familiar allies in a lot of cases. They were told. Who in government? Was this CSIS? Was it the Communications Security Establishment? Was it Public Safety? Was it the Prime Minister's office? This is even unclear to me at this stage of who in the Canadian government apparatus was
It's still
told.
unclear to me. I have approached the Minister of Public Safety to clarify that point, and I'm anticipating that he'll respond in a timely fashion. But it is a whole alphabet soup of various organizations that are supposed to be protecting the security and communications of not only MPs and government officials, but also Canadians writ large.
I saw footage today, I believe it was after question period, when we get one of those rare high shots of the House of Commons, and you walked over to Dominic LeBlanc's desk, the Minister of Public Safety, on the floor of the House of Commons. I'm assuming to speak about this. Did you get any sense of when you might know more or how you might know more in your chat with Mr. LeBlanc?
We had a conversation in the lobby afterwards, yes.
Okay. And no further insight on timeline or the extent of what may have actually happened at this point still? It just seems that way?
Nothing that I can share at this point. I'm rather hoping that I'll have answers sooner rather than later.
this has been one of the things we've seen throughout the whole foreign interference controversy in this country, and that's coming up at the inquiry, is the inability to get plain answers on things. I understand the need to protect national security and privacy laws, but you look at the Americans, you look at the Brits, they'll lay it out and say, someone on this date tried this, here's who they targeted, and here you go. Here's the actions we took and the actions MPs and parliamentarians need to take. We don't get anything close to that in this country, not just the media, but even the parliamentarians themselves. I mean, what needs to change on that?
Well, in some respects, it's the nature of the beast. On the other hand, we seem to have a lot more secrets than anybody else has. So because I chair the Defense Committee and involve myself in military matters, I have some briefings that would be classified briefings. Right. I have to say that there are times where I wonder why this particular information is classified. It seems to me that we need a bit of a culture change here. We particularly need a culture change in the change threat environment. This is, well, really since the Ukrainian war, this is a very changed threat environment, and people need to be informed, and they need to be informed much more than they currently are. If you're informed, like me, then you can at least react to the nature of the threat and take, hopefully, preventative action. But we do seem to have a culture of secrecy, which is somewhat distressing.
I'm not defending the lack of notification here, but is it maybe good news that no news could be good news? That had you been fundamentally compromised by this, you would have been told, and maybe because it didn't work or didn't succeed, that's why the lack of notification?
That's a theoretical possibility.
Yeah. No, I mean, you should know, right?
Yes,
so you can protect yourself, because you have to do your job now without knowing, right? So what do you do now, not knowing that the level of penetration into your private records and emails or computer systems or phones? I mean, what steps do you take, and has anyone given you any advice since this came to light?
So far, it's crickets.
It's wild.
I do intend, after my conversation with the minister, to phone up the people that monitor our emails and the whole system, and ask them, should I be worried, or what should I be worried about? Because at this point, I don't know. And I have, 150, 200 emails a day. 2 offices and six people looking at the material, and any one of them could have clicked on anything, and suddenly we've compromised the entire system. We would have no idea.
So right now we know who was targeted. We don't know if anyone was compromised. We know someone in Canada was informed, but we don't know who, and we don't know what steps they took, and we don't know why you were informed or not informed, and if this met the threshold for notification. But other than that, it's perfectly clear.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? All right.
Okay, I think you've got it.
All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. So Garnet Jennings, just as a final point, he rose in Parliament today, say this is a breach of privilege. That something like this happened. We saw similar things with Michael Chong and Jenny Kwan. When they were individually targeted or family members targeted, and they felt their privileges as an MP were breached. Do you share his concern that this might constitute a breach of privilege?
I would have supported Mr. Jennings at 11 o'clock, except I chair the Defense Committee, and so I could just simply physically couldn't be there. But I think the points he was making are perfectly valid, and I'm rather hoping that the Speaker comes back with a ruling. I may or may not rise myself and speak to the issue. We'll have to see what the next 24 hours reveals.
John McKay, if you get any answers, we'd love for you to come back and share them. We appreciate you taking the time.
Well, David, if I ever get any answers, you'll be the second to know.
All right. Liberal MP John McKay, thanks for your time, sir.
Thanks again.